Hey guys, so this video lesson is going over partial surface area. Please make sure you have the notes out with this so you can be following along with me. Alright, so it says you are serving popcorn at a movie night. What is the surface area of the popcorn box? First things first, we look at our popcorn. We have to see what shape am I looking at. If you think about that, we have two bases that are rectangles. All of my sides are rectangles, so that is a rectangular prism. So we have to draw our net. So we have four sides that are rectangles, and then two flappy sides. One would be my top and one would be the bottom of the bag. Now let's think about this. Partial surface area. That means we're only doing a part of my net, and the reason we're not doing one part of this is because it's actually not part of my shape. So if you look at the popcorn box, you can see that a popcorn box is open at the top, right? We have to be able to get the popcorn out. So we're actually going to cross out one of our little flappy sides so that we don't include that, right? We're only finding the surface area of the popcorn bag or the box. So we don't need the top. It's not a part of our popcorn box. So now the rest of it we solve just like we would any other surface area. So I'm going to go ahead and label my different parts. So if I look at the bottom flap there, that's an 8x4. So I'm going to go ahead and put 8 can be my base and 4 will be my height. And when I do that, I can go ahead and label a whole bunch of sides. So this would be 4, this would be 4, 8 would be down here as well. This would be 4, this would be 4. Whole bunch of spots would be 8 and 4s. Then the final thing we still need to label is our 11 there. 11 is going to be the long side for all of these. That's the height of the bag. So looking at this, we have two shape A's. Let's make those our 4x11s. We have two shape B's. I can make those my 8x11s. And then we only have one shape C. I mean, we would have two, but remember we crossed out that other side because we don't have that as part of our popcorn box. So same idea as any other surface area problem. We're going to find our area. So let's talk about shape A was a rectangle, and that was our 4x11s. 4 times 11 is 44. And I have two shape A's, so 44 times 2 will give me a total surface area for just my shape A's of 88 inches squared. Shape B, still a rectangle, so base was 8 times 11. 8 times 11 is 88. Again, we still have two shape B's, so 88 times 2 would give 176 inches squared. And then shape C, last but not least, is our 4x8s. 4 times 8 is 32. Now in most surface area we really wanted to multiply by 2 here, but we only are talking about one value for C, so we use that 32. We do not multiply it by 2 here. So now we do what we normally do and add up our three areas that we have. So we need to do 88 plus 176 plus 32. Plug that into our calculator. I'm doing it in mine as well. You should get 296 inches squared for the surface area of just our popcorn box. Alright, Miss McCall just bought a tent for her daughter's playroom. Since it was made for indoors, it has no floor. How much fabric was used for this tent? First things first, let's figure out what shape I'm actually looking at. I can see it has a base of a triangle right there, and then my sides are rectangles. So two bases that are triangles with sides that are rectangles, that is a triangular prism. So I have three sides here and two bases. Okay, so there's my triangular prism. We have to figure out what part we're not using. So it says it has no floor, so I can just cross out one of these rectangles. I'm choosing the one in the middle. Doesn't matter which one you do cross out. Once you cross them out, now let's label our different sides. So I like to start with my triangles. You can see on the shape, our base of the triangles is 5, and then the height is 6. So let's put my 5s here, and then height with that little line representing our 6. Now on the sides, you can see sides of my triangles are 5 and 5. That's important because they are also the sides of our rectangle. So 5 and 5 there. And then the long part of our rectangle is going to be 4. So when I go to label my different shapes, I have 2 shape A's. We can make those our 2 rectangles. And then 2 shape B's, which we can make those our 2 triangles. Find the area of all of our shapes, add them together. Shape A, our rectangles, we said those were 4 by 5. Well, 4 times 5 is 20. If I take my 20 and multiply by 2, because I have 2 shape A's, I get 40 feet squared. Now shape B, a little bit different because it's a triangle. So our base was 5, our height was 6, but we need to divide it by 2 because it's a triangle. So 5 times 6 is 30, divided by 2 is 15. We have 2 shape B's, so 15 times 2 is 30 feet squared for the area of shape B. Now we can add them together. 40 plus 30 gives us a total surface area for just the tent part of 70 feet squared. All right, your mom is icing a cake for your birthday. What is the surface area that she will need to cover with frosting? So first things first, look at what shape you're looking at. This is a rectangular prism. Everything's a rectangle. You have all sides are rectangles with 2 large bases that are rectangles as well. So rectangular prism, we need to draw it. This one's a little tricky to draw. I like to do like really skinny sides there, and then you need your 2 flaps. Now let's think about what part we're not going to use, right? You don't icing the bottom of a cake. Okay, that's just not how it works. We do not icing the bottom of a cake. So I'm going to cross out my bottom. And then the rest needs to be labeled still. So let's talk about 15. 15's our long side. So let's label that 15 all the way down. Now let's talk about our small height here. Small height is 3. So we can fill that in on our short ones, 3 and 3, which also means we have a 3 and a 3 there. Oh, nope, not there. My bad. Here. And that makes this 3 need to move here. My bad. And then last but not least, we have to talk about our 8. 15 by 8 is the bottom of our cake. That's what we crossed out. But remember, we still have a top of a cake we need, which is a 15 by 8 right on top. So we can, and 15 by 8's on the sides here. We can start by labeling our A's. We can make those our 8 by 15's. We only have 1 of them. Our B's can be 15 by 3's. We have 2 of them. And 2 shape C's are 8 by 3's on the side. Find the area of each. So area of shape A is 8 by 15. Type it in your calculator. 8 times 15 is 120. Again, we only have 1 of those because we crossed out the bottom of our cake, so we don't have to multiply by 2. Shape B was our 3 by 15s, so 3 times 15 is 45. We do have 2 of those, so 45 times 2 is 90. And then last but not least, shape C, area is 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. I do have 2 of those, so 24 times 2 is 48. Final step here, add all of our numbers together. So 120 plus 90 plus 48. I am plugging it in. You should do it as well. We should get 258 inches squared for the surface area of just what she needs to use for the frosting. All right, the rest of the slides are practice for you to do. Make sure you check the key when you finish.